Hello, my name is Vincent Riddle. I'm going to be going through Week 7, Assignment 1 in CNIT 175. This program is a property calculator for select shapes. The shape is selected here by the user in this combo box. It can only be selected. The user cannot put anything in arbitrarily. Here, the user can either choose ascending or descending, but one has to be checked. And only one can be checked out of these two because it's a radio button. That's how they work. The user will also input the length, width, and height into these text boxes of the shape, and the shape, when the enter button is clicked, will be displayed here, and the statistics will display down here in these text boxes, which are the average, min, and max volume, and the average, min, and max surface area, and as well as the number of shapes right here that are in the array, which is displayed here. The clear button will clear out the array as well as the GUI, and the display button will reorder the array based on whether ascending or descending is checked. Okay. As for the code, there's two module scope variables, which is mshapes, that is a dynamic array that can be resized throughout the program, and is of type structure, this mshape structure, and this module scope index, which relates to the mshapes array, as declared right here. In the structure, which is like an object, it has properties which are all variables as well. So every mshape will have a name, length, width, height, and so on. All of those variables. And here we have the procedure display message OK. This code is abstracted because it's used multiple times throughout the program, and it's more simple. So we don't have to keep calling that entire method every time. It's a lot to type. Here we have the private function is valid, which is declared as a boolean, which means it must return true or false, and these variables hold temporary values that are used to determine whether the user input is valid or invalid, and this if statement is an existence check to make sure that the user has selected a shape in the combo box. These three if statements are used, or the else if statements rather, are used for range checks. We want values in between 0 and 50, and these two are the shape prerequisites. A cube must have a length, width, and height that are all the same, and a square-based pyramid must have a length and width that are the same. And if any of these return true, then any of these if statements, then it will return false, and the program will not continue when the enter button is hit. Here we have the procedure clear GUI, which will clear the text boxes of any values, default the radio button to true, and selected index will equal -1, which empties the combo box. Here's the procedure if the exit button is clicked, which will just close the program when it calls this method close. Here's the procedure when the program is loaded. All of these variables, or all of these GUI elements, will have preloaded values. Sorry about that. Here's when the clear button is clicked. It will clear the GUI, clear the items in the list output, and it will resize the array to 0, not preserving the elements, so it will erase the array basically, or empty it, and reset the m index to -1, and also update the amount of shapes in the array in the text box right there, or label, sorry. Actually no, that is a text box, right? No, that's a label. Yeah, sorry. It is a label. Here is the enter button, which we use this variable to store it in the array, and we'll check to validate the user input and retrieve the value if the input is valid, then we will retrieve the values from the GUI and assign them to the variables. Also calculating the volume and surface area using these two functions, calculate volume and calculate surface area, that I created and we'll get to eventually. We will then increment the array counter, resize the array, preserving existing data, and store the new shape in the array. Then we'll display the shapes in the list output, display statistics, update the number of shapes in the array, and prepare GUI for the next entry. Here is the calculate statistics and procedure. These temporary variables are used to calculate the statistics displayed in the lower text boxes of the program. All of these will display except for the sum volume, which is only used to calculate the average volume, and same with sum of surface area and average surface area. For this loop, it will go through the array and add the current iteration to the sum for calculating the average, and these if statements will get the min and max volume once you get through the entire array, and these two will get the min and max surface area after getting all the way through the array as well. Then the average volume and surface area are calculated using the sums, and then we display all of the things to the text boxes. They are text boxes, I was wrong, sorry. Here is the procedure, sort shapes by name. We have an inner and an outer loop, and this shape is used in order to swap the values in this if statement here. And this for loop will order everything in ascending, and this for loop will order everything in descending, and this is determined based on if rad ascending is checked. Here in display shapes, we will clear the list box to avoid duplicate data, order the array before displaying it, and then we will run through the array, and each iteration will equal one line of the output representing a shape in the list box. So then we'll display all of the things that we've determined we need to. Here's where it's the function calculate volume, which will return a double, and it will calculate the volume based on the user selected shape. And this calculate surface area is exactly the same, except it's calculating the surface area depending also on the user selected shape. The display button just simply calls the display shapes, which we've gone over before. This list output selected index changed is when a user selects a shape in the list box, it will populate all of the values that appear here in these text boxes and the combo box. And the get animal type will just simply find the ID number associated with the name, the text that is in the combo box. And that's all of week 7, assignment 1. So thank you and have a good day.